Yeah, it's just too early for one of these, but yeah, helps a guy get a head start on the day. So, Hunt for Wolverine, Mystery in Madripoor. I've got this one in order, but it's not going to arrive until like next Friday. And I'm just I can't wait that long because got into her a bit. You've seen this little bit on Twitter. Jim Zub and Eric Larson going on about the designs for the villains in this series. How they seemed a little dull. And then when you find out how and why, like the environment in which they're used for this, it kind of makes sense, but it's still, I still think Eric's got a point. That the designs he used, the designs that Jim Zub had, what's the guy's name here? Tony Silas come up with, they are a little underwhelming, even in the context of the book. So this is the fourth Hunt for Wolvie series. I'm still chewing over how to complain about, complain about Claws of a Killer. I took a look at it. I'm not sure. I've bought it. It's on order. Let me back up my own Twitter feed. Go, and it's right there. Mr. Madripoor and Claws of a Killer and a plastic comic book bin. I'm going to be redoing bagging and possibly boarding my entire Uncanny X-Men collection, which really only starts at about 150. But it needs something other than a giant long box, and I really like the way the BCW bins look. So all of those things cost me that. Yes. That. 2 comic books and a bin and something cost me that in Canuckastani rubles. Not. It's getting harder and harder to be a comic fan these days. I did order this. This is the Greg Land cover. I like Greg Land. Yes, I know he gets in trouble for tracing. However, I kind of wish he would have done it a bit more here. I'm not sure what's going on with Psylocke's mouth. Like she's smirking or something. I don't know. Something about the quality of all 4 of these books. They all have this rushed quality to them. Like maybe, I don't know, they didn't give enough time out ahead or something like that. This one starts out, Psylocke is reminiscing about Wolverine, and I have to say this, that if you go to, I can't remember his dang name. If you go to Tony Silas' DeviantArt page, which I'll link in the bottom, this is not representative of the guy's work. This entire book. Here, I got some of it up here. This is, without showing off too many of my links. This is his stuff. I don't know if someone else colored it, or if he did or what. But this book I do not believe is representative of his work. He is, he's a lot better than he's being allowed to be in this comic. Like I saw a bit of this and I thought, ooh, that's maybe he's a little rushed, maybe they do this. Dude can work. And I don't know why his stuff is turning out like this. I hope we get an explanation, because it's just not doing him justice. So the ex-babes are all heading off to Madripoor because they think that's where they're going to find him. We have a very good selection of people whose lives have been touched by Wolverine. And I have to say, this is actually something that kind of crops up in his other stuff, is I want you to take a look at their faces. Dude, even on his DeviantArt page, dude has like a face. Whether it's just the way he draws. I have the same problem. I draw a lot of faces the same. But dude, needs to kind of vary up a little. Were it not for the costume, like granted, the costumes and the hairs are what you see, and the faces are, because that's about the regular size of a comic. You might not see the face as well. Were you rushed? I don't know. So there. Oh, sorry. Back up. So they know his adamantium tomb's been ripped open. He's not there, and they go into Madripoor because we spent a lot of time there in Wolverine Volume 2. The one that went for a few hundred issues. Someone stole my first 16, which I'm still mad about. And they've got Domino. Don't ask me why they brought Domino along. I don't really see Domino as having a big connection to Wolvie. Maybe you just have a broad selection of ex-babes. That's a bad... I didn't want to make that pun, but oh well. And they all kind of whine and snivel about it because they're, I don't know, catty or something like that. And they run into Magneto. I didn't expect him. Nothing happens in Madripoor without my knowledge. I don't know, Mags. I think you have slightly better things to do than keep an eye on Madripoor. I want to go talk about Wolvie. Not here. Tonight, King's Presario and Restaurant. You like the Alaska? Yeah. Promises not to bring his helmet. Again, we're seeing the... Now, I have... Let's haul this up. We have a commission. Storm. Storm looks black. Storm not black. I have to assume he was rushed in this. I'd like to think that if they'd given him another week, or maybe more, or a bit more ahead of time, we have a much better looking book. So I'm trying not to blame him for it. And of course, the femme fatales are involved. We know this because that's already been spoiled on Twitter. Now we have a little picture up on the wall over here that Jubilee's looking at. The Princess Bar Madripoor. I would have to dig out my old issues to find out if that's the layout. I honestly don't remember. But then again, we are talking 20 years ago. A friend of Patches, you're a friend of mine. If we were in Madripoor, we needed somewhere safe. Say the word Yashida. At which point he shows them to this secret room full of nostalgia. Now, I don't know if Marvel is intentionally taking the piss by doing the nostalgia route. They've made fun of nostalgia in... Well, it's not making fun of nostalgia here, but they made fun of it in Gold. Blue kind of has a bit of nostalgia in it. Red, they kind of dredge up the past a lot more. Like, okay, yes, we X-Men fans are kind of stuck to the past, but the X-Men themselves have a strong thing to the past, and you expect stuff in the past to mean something. This must be some scene where they just, Wolvie just joined the team, because he's got the shoulder pads, the yellow and black costume, and Storm gives him this little thingy, and it's still here, and you can just hear. You can hear Storm's heart breaking when she sees this, right? Peace offering. It can be savage, but also protective of those it considers family. And yeah, Wolverine holds on to some stuff because he's 100 and some... Hang on. 160 years old. So he's got to hang on to some things, right? To remind himself kind of where everything is. You can just imagine Storm's heart breaking here when she sees this. That meant so much to her. Rogue accidentally finds a note by Carol about how she felt after they took her in, and you go buy the book and read the entire exchange. I'm not going to read it out here, but you'll understand why Rogue is making that face. You understand what the emotions are there. I don't remember this storyline, but it had to have been somewhere late 90s, early 2000s or something. Maybe I wasn't reading around then. Not sure where that fits in. It's a meditation. But anyway, the Princess Bar has an extensive wardrobe for its entertainers because they don't want to get sucked into a nostalgia vortex. And I can see why Kitty wants to get out there as soon as possible. An extensive wardrobe for its entertainers. You may not have got the kind of clothes you want, girl. As far as the designs go, of these, if we ignore those, the 3 designs you see there kind of fit for the characters. Domino's looks like Domino, Rogue looks like Rogue. I can honestly see Psylocke wearing that. It looks more like something Shenhua would wear. The other 3, I know Kitty's colors in the book now are black and yellow. Girl, that's just not helping you. I'm positive they could have come up with something better than that for Storm. And Jubilee looks like she needs a lamppost behind her. But it's okay now. She's an adult now. We can do that kind of thing. They get to the restaurant. They gotta go talk to Mags. Has to have been rushed. Look at those shoulders. I want you to look at those shoulders. What's wrong with those shoulders? Oh, right, because they're not actually shoulders. There's some underlying anatomy there that I'm not going to attempt to understand. And they find out that he's not there. It's, was it Mind Blast? One of the Femme Fatales. And then the rest of them show up. And if you were coming, getting ready to fight some of the toughest girls on the X team, it seems like you would show up in something other than, that's a costume. You would never wear that in public. Viper would wear that anywhere she goes. I'm positive that's already a Viper. I think if you had both Storm and Knockout in the same panel, you would immediately lose track of who was who. I can't remember who that one is. I wasn't reading Spidey at the time. I've had to look all these characters up. The fight doesn't go well. And I have left 5 pages out. So you can go find out on your own how well it didn't go. However, it's, things did not go well. Land's cover for next issue is great. That's a cool cover. I like that. I'm on the hook for it. As I already said, I'm on the hook for $100 worth of comics right now. So next week should be... I'm hoping Wolfie's actually in Weapon Law, the next issue of Weapon Lost. And Adamantium Agenda. I don't know. We'll find out. The odd part is like... Oh yeah, those are... Did the number 1s of these all just come out? Why are they already advertising for number 3s? There's a 2. That's... Come on, Marvel. Get your shit together. You're torpedoing your own stuff. Anyway, I'll have... once I've got my night all planned out, I got something to say about Claws of a Killer, and I'll see you in the future.